A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Wednesday, August 2nd. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. Operation Hiding in Plain Sight culminated with 15 people from Westchester, Orange, Sullivan, and Ulster counties being arrested on charges of conspiracy, with the top two also charged with possession of drugs. 49-year-old Michael Rodriguez of the Bronx and Yonkers had in his possession, when arrested, 1.5 kilos of cocaine, $165,000 in cash, 3 pistols and a shotgun, $50,000 in jewelry, and drug paraphernalia. District Attorney David Hoovler said the irony is that he was executive director of Bronx Rising Against Gun Violence.
So the very guy that we have that's supposed to be stopping gun violence in one jurisdiction in New York City is poisoning our jurisdiction up here. It's kind of ironic that it's Bronx Rises Against Gun Violence. He had 2 guns.
He's being held in the Orange County Jail without bail. 39-year-old Angelica Rodriguez of Otisville, no relation to Michael, a known drug dealer in Orange County, was also charged with conspiracy and drug possession. Days after the state announced an agreement with Central Hudson Gas and Electric to start monthly billing for actual electric usage and the hiring of an independent monitor to oversee its billing practices, the utility announced its proposal for a new rate hike plan. State Assemblyman Jonathan Jacobson is taking them to task over that.
Given the service they've been doing, given what they've been doing all along as far as the inaccurate billing, the non-billing, and all the consumers through in this area, they do not need another pay raise.
State Senator Michelle Hinchey also blasted Central Hudson over the rate hike proposal. A 23-year-old Matamoros, Pennsylvania man was killed late Monday afternoon when his motorcycle crashed while he was riding on Interstate 84 in Slate Hill before 5 p.m. State police identified the victim as Austin Prey, who was operating a 2001 Honda motorcycle westbound when, for unknown reasons, he lost control. The bike rolled over and struck a guardrail. Prey was pronounced dead at the scene. Typically, on National Night Out, the criminal element takes the evening off, but that was not the case in the city of Newburgh Tuesday. Gunfire rang out after 9 p.m. in the area of 107 William Street. Police investigated shots fired, with damage to a window and 3 bullet casings located. Police were on the scene searching for other evidence and trying to determine who fired the shots. Meanwhile, night out events were held in Newburgh, Middletown, Poughkeepsie, and other locations around the Hudson Valley last night. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
Protect Our Care, a national health care organization, brought its first bus tour to New York, stopping in Kingston on Tuesday for a rally to tout Democratic accomplishments on lowering prescription drug prices and protecting the health care safety net. The group called out MAGA Republicans in Congress for their attacks on vital health care programs and coverage for people with pre-existing conditions. Ulster County Executive Jen Metzger had a message for GOP members of the House and Senate.
My message today to Republicans in Congress is to keep your hands off our health care. Here in Ulster County, people are desperately trying to stay afloat in the face of rising costs. Working families are struggling to keep a roof over their heads, with over half the renters in our county meeting the definition of rent-burdened or severely rent-burdened. Families are forced to make trade-offs between food, medicine, and rent. Is that right in the richest country in the world? Absolutely not. It's not right.
State Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado also spoke, saying greed is not good. The Penrose redevelopment of the former Ulster County jail site on Golden Hill in Kingston is expected to commence in the first quarter of next year. A special informational meeting was conducted last night in the county legislative chambers about the $80 million project. In June, family of Woodstock made 188 placements in motels after the County Department of Social Services spent entire days placing people in motels, said Michael Berg of the family of Woodstock of the need of immediate supportive housing. Legislators question developers about the project, but Berg says it's urgently needed because too many working people cannot find affordable housing.
When we look at the need of the community, this is the only project that is being designed for working people. If this doesn't happen, personally, our agency is really suffering trying to put people in housing.
When completed in 18 months, the facility will consist of 164 affordable housing units, 84 for families and 80 for seniors, and will be available via a lottery system. But 48 of those units will be available for supportive housing, which will not be lottery-based for entry. A fight between two inmates at the Ulster County Jail on July 13th has resulted in the arrest of one of the men. On July 29th, the Ulster County Sheriff reports 29-year-old Brandon Craddock of Queens, an inmate at the jail, allegedly had a physical altercation with another incarcerated man, and during the agreement, Craddock took a wooden cane from another inmate and struck the man with whom he was arguing several times. The victim sustained a hand injury. Craddock was charged with 2 felony counts of assault, criminal possession of a weapon, and grand larceny. A recent report by the Wall Street Journal indicated that older overhead telecommunications lines that are sheathed in lead are causing high levels of ground contamination of poison lead. Locally, Temple Park in Wappingers Falls has been closed due to a State Department of Health investigation to continue soil sampling. Congressman Pat Ryan says the lines were put in place by companies including AT&T and Verizon.
Despite the fact that they made $4.8 billion in profit last quarter alone, they will not answer our questions about this or take any accountability. So we're pushing to get more transparency and understanding of, are there other sites that could be affected? We all know about the risks of lead pipe and lead paint, but these lead sheath cables that are telecom cables, unfortunately, is another anxiety now that folks have that we have to get addressed.
According to the congressman, the old communications infrastructure that contains lead is going to become a nationwide problem. Stay updated with local news all day online at MidHudsonNews.com. I'm Hank Gross. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.